said my first trimester doves, I was bloated. I was terribly bloated. I couldn't understand. I just woke one morning and I had this big tummy and I'm like, where did this tummy come from? I'm used to having a nice, flat, tight tummy. So I'm like, what the heck is happening? I was so terribly bloated. Other thing I was experiencing, other symptoms I was experiencing, I was terribly fatigued. The only way I can explain it is as though when you're jet lagged, you know? I was terribly fatigued. I was extremely tired. I was sleeping even 15 hours for the day. I'm like, I'm sleeping 15 hours in the daytime. I'm like, what the heck is happening? Then I got extremely nauseous. I remember one day I vomited twice in that day and I'm like, no, something is happening. You know, something is terribly wrong and I really, really need to check this out. But then I started being constipated. I'm like, why is that? I still have fiber because I still eat vegetables. I still eat fruits, even though I started eating different ones. Then I started having diarrhea. One day I was coming home on the train. I was coming home and I was about to take the last train to head home, about 3 stops, guys, and I had to run to the platform. I couldn't walk. I had to run and squeeze my butt so tightly. I was scared. Like, oh my God, what if when I go there, someone is using the toilet? What if it's dirty? What if it's closed? God, guys, trust me, I started to sweat. I felt so embarrassed. Because I'm like, everybody knows. I'm like, but what if? Anyway, I got there on time and oh, thank God, guys. The attendant, the cleaning attendant, she had just finished cleaning the toilet, so it was fresh and nice and clean. So I laid my papers and I got on with my business. When I got home, I took a nice, long, hot, warm, relieving shower. Trust me. But then after that, as I said, I was constipated. So it's like either I was having diarrhea or I was constipated. There was no in between. I'm like, what the heck is happening? Then I keep complaining to my boyfriend now that something is wrong, and I don't know what. Then I noticed around my breast, my areola, it got darker. My breast got really tender. My tummy itself got really tender. Like the left side of my tummy got really, really tender, guys. Like really, really tender. My left leg begin to cramp. I'm like, what the heck is happening? I'm not a sickly person. Yes, I do have a condition, but I don't get sickly. So I'm like, what the heck is happening? I'm like, I need to get to the bottom of this. So guys, in doing all of this now, you know, I started suspecting my boyfriend because guess what? The week after I vomited twice that morning after he made me breakfast. I'm like, I wonder if this food wasn't even clean, but I didn't want to tell him. I know that's offensive, right? And then the following week, he was vomiting. He was vomiting like crazy, like there were missiles. Then he had very high fever. He was trembling. He couldn't eat. He couldn't move. He couldn't drink. It's like he couldn't even think. He got ill the following week. And the following week, it was even worse. The following week, it was even worse. My brain said, my overthinking brain started saying, I think it's God or the universe telling me to leave this man alone because something is wrong with this man. Because I don't get ill. All of a sudden, I'm ill. Doctors don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong. He says he doesn't get ill. Yet all of a sudden, he's getting ill himself. So I'm thinking, must be a sign from the universe that we shouldn't be together. And so I said it to him. I said, something is very strange. Don't you think it's strange that I don't usually get ill? Now I am. And you're ill, very ill. And you say you're not usually ill. No, guys, I wasn't having UTI symptoms, but I didn't care. I didn't know what else to do and where else to turn those. So I went to the doctor and I said, please test my urine for UTI. He tested it. He said, there's no bacteria whatsoever. I am okay. I said, well, something is wrong. I said, all right, I'm going to go to the STD clinic. The STD clinic, guys, even though I wasn't having STD symptoms, but I just didn't know where to turn. When I went, I was happy that it was a doctor and not a nurse. I'm like, okay, maybe she'll get even, be more in depth. I don't know. I was just thinking that maybe it was better for me. She tested my secretion. She said there's no bacteria in it at all. More than likely you have no STDs. I said, I don't care, I want the blood test. She did the blood test, and of course it came back all negative. I asked for a panel of STD testing. They did that, came back all negative. And like, what the heck is wrong then? What is wrong? Then I started having food aversions, food cravings, things like beef that I don't like. I've never gone out and ordered beef. I started craving beef and potatoes. So like I'll have jacket potatoes and I'd want burger or stuff like that. And I'm like, huh? That's weird. I don't like these things. So why all of a sudden I'm liking these things? But because I'd taken a pregnancy test, I said it was negative. That completely left my mind. I'm like, something is terribly wrong and I need to get to the bottom of it. And then foods that I really loved, like watermelon. I love chicken. Well, I prefer seafood, but still I like chicken. Watermelon, chicken, coconut water that I love so much. Water, I couldn't drink it. It just tasted awful. When I had watermelon, I was nauseous. Coconut water, nauseous. Water, worse, nauseous. Chicken, I couldn't stand the sight of it or the smell of it. And even before this, I didn't like touching raw chicken. I would use food gloves or have someone else do it for me. So I was like, no, something is terribly wrong. Like, what is going on? I got so confused. Next one, I know I love fruits. Yes, anyone knows me in real life knows I love fruits and vegetables. But one day I went to the vendor and I bought a carton of lychee, a carton of mangoes, a carton of cherries. What else were there? I think oranges or whatever. And the vendor said to me, my, you really love fruit. I said, yes, I do. But to be honest, I'm not even sure why is it I'm buying so many, because at the time, guys, I didn't know that I was pregnant. Then I noticed I started getting really emotional, like really emotional. And then like the smell of people would affect me. The smell of their food, their voices. Even my boyfriend, guys, I almost broke up with my boyfriend and he suspected, so he tried to get even closer to me and to see me even more often, which made it worse for me. I genuinely couldn't bear to see him. I couldn't bear to hear his voice. I couldn't bear to smell his cologne or to smell even his natural skin, like his pheromones. I couldn't understand why. I'm like, maybe because when I analyzed it, I thought to myself that maybe because I started feeling as though he is the one who's making me ill, but I don't know what he's doing to make me ill. You understand? I don't know what the illness is. So I was thinking maybe it was my mind, in my semi-consciousness. My body was pushing him away, because at this point I'm convinced that he's the one who's making both of us ill, not realizing that he was actually during my pregnancy symptoms. That is why he was vomiting way more than me. That's why he had fever. That is why he was extremely sick, guys, because he was taking my pregnancy symptoms. So can you imagine how we laughed? Well, I laughed. He kind of chuckled a little bit because he was still offended that I was trying to break up with him, and he knew. He didn't say it, he just tried to draw closer to me. So imagine how I laughed when I realized that, oh, I'm simply pregnant. I was just simply pregnant, guys. Why I just couldn't bear the sight of him. I don't know why that happens. And then I thought, okay, so this is one of the reasons why people break up when the woman is pregnant. Because if a man isn't understanding, and if the woman's hormone is that high enough, she's going to be adamant that she doesn't want to see you, she doesn't want to be with you, she doesn't want to talk to you, because that's what the hormones are telling her, that she doesn't want to be near you, not realizing that it's the hormones, you understand? So that's another crazy part of the pregnancy, guys, of my first trimester recap. Yeah, all those things happened in the first trimester of my pregnancy, doves. Trust me. And all in all, I'm still grateful that those were my first trimester pregnancy symptoms, because I know women who go through a lot more, who vomit every day, who are sickly every day, who has to constantly be going to the clinics, doctors, hospitals for various reasons. Yeah, they just can't hold anything down, not even water. they can't keep down, and then on top of that, you know, your mouth will be filled with water and so on, and it tastes awful in the back of your throat, and you can't swallow it because I guess it will make you nauseous and want to vomit and things like that. So I'm still happy and grateful that all in all, I've only vomited twice since this pregnancy, and I'm 7 months pregnant exactly today, doves, and I vomited only twice. When I say twice, I vomited 7 times, but I vomited twice in one day and 5 times another day. And the time when I vomited 5 times in that day is when I vomited gold. Pure gold, guys. Pure gold. Yes, guys, so for now, that's all the symptoms that I can remember of my first trimester in pregnancy. So that was my first trimester recap. And as always, I'm Dove London. Thank you for watching my videos, liking my videos, sharing my videos, and I love interacting with you in the comment section. So until next time, guys, I'm Dove London. I will see you in my next video, and the journey continues. Bye, guys.